All right, well, now it's time on for some. I wish I had better news, but we do have news surrounding the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Oh, yes, folks. And we're still talking about it. Why? Because it has been erased officially from history right here this October 17th, 2025. Note the date, folks. It's important for the story. Final Galactic Star Cruiser sign removed from Walt Disney World roadways. Interior demolition accelerates. While visiting Disney's Hollywood Studios recently, we noticed that the final roadway sign for the shuttered Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser immersive hotel experience, by the way, the company spent $1 billion on this, has been removed. The sign used to be positioned at the exit to Disney's Hollywood Studios parking lot, as seen below. In addition to the roadway signage removal, work on gutting the hotel is continuing, and here's the latest. Now, I don't want to focus so much on the hotel per se. I want to take note of this date, though. October 17th, 2025. The significance of this date is very, very interesting because it lines up almost exactly on the 10-year anniversary of the Force Awakens trailer. In effect, the Disney Lucasfilm era of Star Wars was kicked off with this trailer. October 19, 2025, that is. And the the culmination of all of that effort put forth by the company, buying Star Wars and establishing it and so forth, well, that chapter officially closed 10 years to the day. It is amazing and incredible how mismanaged this franchise has been. And this has ramifications all over the place. We just recently heard about this AP article right here, Adam Driver on Star Wars and putting filmmakers first. Apparently there was this Ben Solo project that they were going to pursue, in which I guess he survived and they were looking for him and everything like that. Well, we presented the script to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea. They totally understood our angle and why we were doing it. Driver says we took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, and they said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was still alive, and that was that. Why were they saying that? This might provide some answers. This from Forbes. I believe this is Caroline Reed's reporting on here. These are the official profits tied to every single Star Wars Lucasfilm basically movie that has come out. You can see right here, The Force Awakens, $500 million, Rogue One, $258 million, Last Jedi, $324. That's a far cry from 500. Rise of Skywalker, $48 million. That's the profit that these brought in. And of course, Solo lost money. My question to you, I want to go ahead and forward this to the panel right here. With the closure of the Galactic Star Cruiser now official, it is done. It is out of the annals of history right here. It is the only Walt Disney World resort to ever close on property. I want to know from you, is this franchise dead?
I would say so. I mean, I don't know how you revive it. I have an idea that I think would go a long way to pleasing some fans, and that is renaming the Galactic Star Cruiser building as it's reoccupied by Imagineering to the Jenny Nicholson Memorial Imagineering building.
Oh, no. Oh, you got to have the pole, the exact pole that was in front of her when she was trying to do the dining show right there. Yeah, that's what you got to have for Jenny Nicholson.
Oh, my gosh. It's, I really thought the Force wasn't gendered, and it's also kind of funny to see a group of people who will wear gendered language on a Disney shirt. How dare they? It's really sad because the lore of Star Wars, the extended universe that Disney threw aside, the past of a lot of good things from Star Wars, right? And obviously the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy at the time, I know a lot of people were let down by that. I thought it was I liked it at the time. Maybe it was my age. I don't know what it was. I couldn't stand Jar Jar Binks, but that was just because there was a very specific choice made with that character to play to little kids. And
Sure.
from what I understand it worked with the little kids. The little kids kind of liked the character. I just thought it was a funny, interesting thing, but it was nothing compared to what Disney did when they got a hold of the franchise and basically just said, George, let's listen to all your ideas. And then after they did, they kicked him out of the room and said, oh, thank you for that. We're not going to use any of this. And we're going to go a completely different direction. And it's sad. I think they had an absolutely great opportunity to revive the franchise when they first, with the first season and second season of The Mandalorian. And for me, what ended it was Gina Carano. When they let go of Gina Carano and the way that they did it and the timing that they did it and for the reasons they did it, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't care about Disney. Definitely not Disney Star Wars anymore. If I were Disney, I would consider selling Lucasfilm at this point, because I don't think that the reputation of the Disney Lucasfilm is ever going to be it's always going to remain tarnished. I don't think there's anything that the Disney company can do to revive Star Wars.
Culture, I want to know from you, maybe my question, look, Star Wars dead. I mean, in terms of the entertainment landscape, it is basically dead. But is there any reviving it? Is there any going forward in the theme park space? Is there an attraction that they can incorporate? Is there an overlay they can slap on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to make it work and get renewed interest? I think about like investing in the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and making that work. Would it be worth it? Would people show up? Your thoughts, please.
I mean, why not add more park area to the under construction space? I think that it would be a unique challenge to add more construction walls. You have to consider there's probably more plywood in Disney right now than Home Depot. So the stuff that I'm looking at, it would suggest that they have an opportunity to go back to the original plan for this area. That might bring people back, but that's about it. Because I have zero interest. I'm with Ron. I don't think you can revive this at all. So I don't even think I'd be interested at this point. They needed to stick with the original plan, and they need to tie these areas together a little bit more with things that are popular, and not some failed Disney Ridley experiment that everything seems to revolve around here, which is a problem. So is Star Wars dead? Very definitely. They can't sell anything. Like for a short period of time, they sold a baby version of Yoda, and that was it. So well, those are my thoughts.
Here's another thing to look at, Vash, and we know this for a fact. After the original trilogy, Star Wars came out and then stopped. Right, it ended. Star Wars gained popularity, right? All the characters gained popularity. They became more popular when the franchise was no longer available, which is what got people super interested when, first of all, I mean, the re-release of the original trilogy, even with updated effects, and some people might disagree with the effects, but I mean, that got a lot of butts and seats in theaters back in the mid-90s. And it got people super psyched and excited for the prequel trilogy. And, obviously the prequel trilogy was a bit divisive, but I don't even think it was close to being as divisive as this. Well, maybe it was more divisive than the sequel trilogy, because I think more people hate the sequel trilogy altogether. Like that's a whole community thing. But my only quick point is that these characters since the end of the sequel trilogy have way become less popular. That should not happen to a good franchise.
Well, but it did, and it's for the same reason that Marvin's been saying all along. People liked it. Now we've got to destroy it.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, take a look at this. That character's terrible. Take a look at the hotel concept. That was a good concept. That's been around a long time, with a haunted mansion kind of an idea built into it, right? A conversation that was had multiple times in different ways. But I look at that particular Imagineering blunder with very little to do. And the idea of a cement box or prison cells for your guests is a real problem. Not having any real things to look at or do, or tied to a cruise experience. There are no real excursions except to go to the theme park, stuff like that. I'm less and less enthused about that. But were they to bring back elements of the original stuff, if they were to give you some kinetics in that particular area of the park, like the Bantha attraction, they just finished building it, right? I mean, a lot of the infrastructure and everything is there. There's a whole lot more they could do. But when it comes to what I love is that Imagineering is being placed in a building that they failed.
Yes.
So it's a daily it's a daily reminder to not suck anymore. And so I kind of think it's just desserts or whatnot. But I don't like Star Wars anymore. I like the old stuff.
Yeah.
But they were trying to get rid of me. They did. They got rid of all of us. If you were a Star Wars fan, in the 90s and the 2000s, you were living pretty well. You were living pretty well, despite the fact that there's quite a bit of time passed between the original trilogy and the prequels. But you were living pretty well, and you're not now.
I will never stop saying that Star Wars Weekends was a better event than Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has ever been to visit.
So very true.
That's true.
I just hope for the future of Star Wars that it's taken with a lot more care than it has been lately. And look, I would put the movies on ice, to be honest with you. Let the franchise just cool down. But I think there are still opportunities within the parks as long as you have the courage to pursue them.
Let the past die. Destroy it if you have to.
There you go. That's the one.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.